I reached to the point where I can just stand still in an Uber boss fight while my mercenary is taking care of the boss, and this is not our final form because there is a new stepping stone that is got unlocked yesterday on my stream. Man skill. I don't think that is good. Mageblood! Hold on! Holy wait, I did not even pay attention! A Mageblood! Today we going over the non-Mageblood Tonki version. What's up guys, Pidget here. As every single time when I upgrading my gear from the previous low budget setup to a mid version, I always equipping my signature item, Tides of Time and Anathema. Of course, the Tides of Time we are providing us 100% flask up time pretty damn easily, and that we are providing us a lot of maximum elemental resistances, and we can reach 90% maximum cold resistance on this build while the other resistance is 81%. The reason why we can reach 90% cold res because our Merc is now giving us a cold aura as well, the purity of ice, and that is providing us 5% maximum cold resistance, and the rest is coming from our flask and from the Aegis Aurora. So the reason why we're using Anathema, because we can fit in 3 different curses of our choice. We're using 2 offensive curse and 1 defensive curse as always. So we're using elemental weakness and we're using flammability and enfeeble for the defensive curse, and this is just only for Ubers. And honestly, while mapping we can just literally just let our Merc do his own thing, and he will just 1 tap or 2 tap map bosses pretty damn easily. Also, I changed the passive tree as well a little bit up because I was needed to add the new cluster jewel, added a lot of tattoos, but more about this in the passive tree section. As I mentioned, I changed up a lot of items in my build, and most notably I upgraded all of my energy shield gear to a better basis and much higher energy shield. As you can see here, instead of like 700 energy shield, we have 1.1k and 500 energy shield here, and I got the Anathema and Tides of Time as well. So basically this is pretty standard if you was watching my builds previously. The other big change, guys, I got now a better rolled Outgyre with 100% increased crit chance, and also the quality does not increase the physical damage, instead it will grant us more critical chance, and basically this weapon almost gives us 15% crit chance. And the reason why we need, guys, crit chance because of the destructive link, and now this build has 100% crit chance while I mapping, so that's why we're using a diamond flask as well. So basically our Merc will have 100% crit chance, and now is the question, how I reaching 100% crit? So I found a very funny way. So let me just go here into Blood Aqueduct, so just showing this one for you guys. So basically, if I linking to my Merc, you can see 99%, almost 100% crit chance. Now, how are we reaching that? So, first thing first, the weapon, right? The weapon is very important on the roll. And also, I'm using now the unique jewel here, the Tech Rod Gaze. So basically, 40% increase main hand critical strike per murderous jewel affecting you. So there is 1 murderous jewel here, there is another murderous jewel here, and there is another one. So basically we affected by 3 of them. And also I'm getting global critical strike chance on this one and on the corruptions as well, as you can see here and here as well. And basically this is how I got my crit chance to 100%. And of course I got a new precision as well, so now a level 21 precision. So basically this is how you reaching 100% crit chance, and that is very important once again for the destructive link. Speaking about the Mercenary, I also got a new Mercenary now. So guys, we no longer using the multi-strike one. Honestly, so first thing first, I genuinely can't tell if it's better or worse than the multi-strike one. It was looking for me the same. Maybe it's like while you mapping, it's more responsible your Mercenary, because he is not getting like animation lagged for sometimes and just standing there. So basically I'm still using the good old static strike wild strike combination, and we're using faster attack on this one, hypothermia, greater undead lightning, undead cold, and greater elemental damage with attacks. Only 3 I would say very crucial that you want to look, that is the faster attack, hypothermia, and greater elemental damage, and you want a static strike with more duration, and basically that's it, because your Merc will not use that often the static strike. And we using the Wrath Aura. And the reason why we using the Wrath Aura on this one, because guys, that is a very niche tech. I not seen anybody doing that. So I'm using here a Watcher Eye with increased critical strike chance by affected by Wrath. Basically, we affected by Wrath, guys, because of our Merc, right? And then we increasing our crit chance with that, so we reaching 100% crit chance, and basically this is why I was needed a Wrath Aura Merc. Very, very important for this one. And I'm using a Pretty of Ice Aura as well here. It's not making or breaking the build, it's fun to have this one. And now the Merc gear, guys. So I get many questions about why I only just using one single weapon in the main hand. Well, turns out only your Merc main hand weapon getting the critical chance from the destructive link, because it's literally written on it, right? And unless I'm wrong. So it's very hard to test, guys, so feel free to educate me on this part. And that's why we're using this one here, and we leaving empty the offhand, because guys, you cannot equip a shield on this character, you can't equip any on this one, so basically that is would just lower down your Merc damage. And the rest of the gear I will just hover over, guys, because that is not really got changed. As you can see here, I still using the same gear, although there is a little change, that is the body armor implicit that is granting now our Merc frenzy charge, as you can see here, every 9 seconds. So basically our Merc has now 100% uptime on the frenzy charge while we fighting against a unique enemy, so like a Pinnacle boss, for instance, because your Merc will just one tap literally almost every single normal boss in the game that is not a Pinnacle boss, and that's why we using this one. I already mentioned, guys, we using new clusters and a lot of tattoos. So this time I want to start with the tattoos. Very, very important, guys. So you need free, I repeat, free Flask Effect Duration tattoo, because in this way you will reach almost 100% uptime on your Diamond Flask and 100% uptime on your other elemental resistance flasks, and that is very, very crucial, especially if you're using Tides of Time. And I'm using now a lot of energy shield tattoo, as you can see here, a lot. And because that is, turns out, guys, it's like 34 chaos, so it's not a big deal to spend like 2 divine worth of tattoos on this build, because it's providing us, as you can see, we have a lot of energy shield, right? It's kind of crazy. And also now I have a path down here, and I taking the Faint and Steel and also the maximum endurance charge here, because we still using the enduring composure here. And I also did a new medium cluster jewel with special reserve and also fasting. So the only reason we're using the special reserve, because regenerate 2% life per second during flask effect, and basically we have 0 thought, so that is 2% energy shield regen, which is pretty nice, especially while mapping or just against Uber bosses in general. And the fasting is providing us flash charge gain, which is very, very welcome, because we need those. And I already mentioned my new Watcher Eye as well. So basically, you're looking on this one, increased critical chance by affected by Wrath, and I was using the spell block as well by affected by Discipline. This was like 30 chaos, by the way. It's kind of crazy, because honestly, who would care about this? So with this one, guys, we almost reaching block cap on the attack damage block, but on the spell block we kept absolutely. Honestly, sacrificing a little bit block chance, I think it's fine, because this is enables us or Merc to deal even more damage, so that's why it's a very, very worth trade-off. And I'm using here once again the Tech Rod Gaze, and the more Abyss Jewel you're using with the Murderous Eye base, you will getting more critical hit chance. And basically that's it, guys, about the passive tree, because there is nothing else that is got changed really. I started taking this wheel as well, because I want more energy shield, and also cost efficiency will be very, very welcomed as well later in this build. And by the way, I just level 93 if you're wondering, so that's why I did not took this wheel yet. And then we can take honestly the energy shield mastery here as well. And the ascendancy, guys, is not changed anything, so it's just the same basic as was previously. Now also I added a few new stuff to the build, because as you can see here, now we have Animate Guardian. We was using this guy as well, but now he's a little bit more tonky, so we're using Meat Shield on him, Minion Life, and Animate Guardian, of course. And guys, honestly, I have a feeling this Animate Guardian is just a little bit annoying because he died literally every single time on Uber bosses in the first 10 seconds. Literally, sadly, he doesn't have enough recovery, he doesn't have enough tonkiness, so he will die pretty often. Even on mapping, guys, he just there. Sometimes we are getting one-tapped by another merc, or just in general in a dangerous spot where he wanders around. So basically, if you want, you can skip this one and just get like custom damage taken setup, and basically that's it. But I'm using on the Animate Guardian here the Dying Breath, Leercast, Grukul's Path, Southbound, and Legacy of Fury. But once again, guys, your merc will die pretty damn often, and that's why I'm not even bothered with the Spectres. Now, gems and gemlings. So we're using Purity of Elements, Determination, Haste, Discipline, Tempest Shield, and Enlighten 3. And as you can see here, now I'm using all of the level 21 gems. Only exception is the Purity of Elements, because honestly, guys, Purity of Elements is not gaining any beneficial for us anymore, right? So because we have way overcapped resistance that we should be, or Merc as well have, so that's why I was not bothering that one. And I'm using here a new setup. So Enlighten with Smite, Anger, level 21, and Generosity now. So basically, the reason why we're using Anger, because I'm using Flammability, my as or third curse. So basically, that's why, guys, I'm using this one. And also, I was experimenting with Enmity Embrace setup, but honestly, guys, this setup that you was seeing on the Merc is so much better still. And that's why I'm using that. And the reason why we're linking Smite, the Generosity support, because it grants a more aura effect, because this is an aura ability, right? So it grants more lightning damage to our Merc, because we don't need that one. And Destructive Link, Precision, and Frostblink in the weapon, Arcanist Brand, Elemental Weakness, Enfeeble, and Flammability. This is our new curse setup because of the Anathema. And in the shield, we're using Shield Charge and Faster Attack. You can use Momentum as well, but it's not really make a big difference. I'm so happy how this build turned out. So yesterday, while I was testing the character, I had a very nice relief when I was seeing it. I could face tank Ubers, I can AFK in the fight if I want, because that is just so satisfying to me. So that's why, guys, I pushed this build to this further, and I'm so glad I was tried out this character, because I was having a little bit, I would say, issues recently, and honestly, I was very close to quit the league because reasons. So whatever, I will not go into details. But yeah, guys, but this character is very satisfying to play and fun as well. And of course, now, guys, the Mageblood is waiting in our stash as well. So basically, guys, the next time when you're seeing this character, then I will have a Mageblood setup on this one. Till then, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any question, please leave a comment below, or you can find me on twitch.tv/Project2 or on my YouTube here, because I'm streaming here as well. Till then, thanks for watching. I was Pidget. See you next time.